Hi, we're the Cubero family. My name is Jesus, and this is my wife Andrea, and our 3 kids, Haley, Alyssa, and Anthony. And we have decided to buy a school bus and convert it into a tiny home. We are taking a year-long trip around the U.S. to help others and spread kindness. Follow us on our adventure.
Yep. Hey, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope everybody's doing well on this beautiful Saturday morning. I know we are. Woke up this morning, made some good breakfast. It's going to be maybe a little bit different when we're on the bus making breakfast. Because here at least the kids they're in the room and they can't smell when I make breakfast, you know. There they won't have anywhere to go. The coffee too. So today's video, and these are the things that we looked into when we purchased our bus. These are the things that purchase a bus to get us to where we're at this point of our adventure and our journey. So when purchasing a bus, one of the main things, of course, you have to do your research.
Tons of research.
Yeah.
We did research for months.
Yeah.
How many? Like months, like 5, maybe easy, 6, maybe more.
Yeah.
Tons minimum of research.
5-6 months minimum. We were talking, I know before that, just an RV also.
RV, travel trailer. We thought of many different ways.
Yeah. One of the things
pop-up tent, pop-up trailer,
different vans. There was just so many things that we looked into. One of my first things that I've read everywhere, and any forum that I was on, which will, if it was schoolie.net, or that's one of the ones that I look at a lot, was do not buy the first bus you see. In our process, I must have looked at myself. I know I looked at least 3 buses.
That you physically looked at 3 buses. Yeah, I went and I met up with the people, and I looked at one of the first buses. Guy was, he took it, he gutted it, he put the rust prevention on the bus already, and I went to see it one night. The very next day, he already had sold it, and he had told me, he's like, hey, I might have to sell it, and I'm like, hey, you have to do what you have to do. Then another one that I looked at was the guy had converted into a kind of like a food truck. Food trucks.
So he had electricity on it. It was gutted, and that's another thing when you're
gonna find different points of a bus, like a bus being in different stages. Yeah, like sometimes we'll get a bus that has all the seats in it, and some will be gutted, some will, it just depends on kind of what you're looking for and how much work you want to put into it and how much money you want to spend, the budget. So we have 5 or 6 different things?
Yeah, 5. I would say 5. So one of the first things is don't buy the first bus. Look, do your research. The number 2 is
check for rust. We ended up getting a bus not from Utah, but from the Midwest area. So it wasn't with the elements of super cold and winter, and so more of a drier area. So we really didn't really have a lot of rust issues, thank God. And even if we did, we would treat it. But that's another thing that we read a lot, that they said treat the bus for rust, because if you just kind of lay everything on top of it, it's going to end up being a bad situation. So check for rust. Look at the engine, just overall, obviously look at the bus like you would a car.
Yeah.
Or
it's just, as they say, kick the tires around, You want to do that. You want to check underneath. If you have to get underneath and check it, because, sorry about the sneezing in the background. That's our daughter.
This is our life. This is our life. We have kids.
This is our life. One of the things that also, and I had worked with heavy duty, the mileage on the bus. A lot of people think that when you purchase, a car or SUV, you want the low mileage. You want less miles on the engine, but you have to flip your mind or switch your mind. And with the bus and even a truck, like a semi truck, you want more miles on the engine. The more miles on the engine, the better the engine is, because these buses are made to transport kids. They're made like tanks. I always tell people that, and they are. They last a lot longer. You see them wear 500,000 miles, 700,000 miles. So it's not rare to get a bus with 100, 200,000 miles, and the bus run for another 500,000 miles on top of that.
That was odd.
That was very odd to me. You know, I'm looking forward.
But I get it now. Like, I mean, I get it.
We get it now. Before I was like, no, I want to get something with 20,000 miles on it, and you know, you don't want that. And
ours has 190.
Yeah, 192,
190.
You know, and it's rare to, you know, if you want to buy brand new, that's where you're gonna find the lower mileage. And go to your auctions. There's a lot of bus auctions. You know, your schools. Go to your local schools. The tires. Big on the tires. A lot of these tires on the trucks you see on the road when you're driving, they're retreaded. They retread them. It's a layer that goes on top of the tire, and then literally I've had a blowout before on one of these tires, and the tread that's on top of the tire literally comes off. It looks like a piece of tape that was just put on top of the tire, and it's very weird, but that's the way they do it because they don't want to just replace the whole tire. It's more expensive. These tires that we got on the bus were really, really good, and we had a brand new one, brand new underneath the bus that he had purchased and he left there. Which you don't want any dry rot on the bus. You want to on the tires.
Also, if it's which we have to get for ourselves. If the bus is standing for a long period of time, it's the same thing like RV tires as well, or any kind of travel type tires. You want to get a cover for it because the sun, all the elements of the weather will ruin the tires. So that's something that we're gonna get soon as well, because it just sits there and the sun beams down on it, and it's gonna just deteriorate the tires a lot faster, especially when they're not in use constantly.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
The next is your budget. Have a budget. I mean, most of us do things like that, but it's good to have some type of price range budget. We had a budget and a price range, and we, thank God, did very well inside our budget, and I think got a great deal. And our bus was partially converted, as many of you have seen throughout the other videos, which for the price we paid is, I think, a rare commodity, but like I said, that just worked out great for us. So have some type of price. You know, I've seen buses that go from $1,000 to $20,000. You can, I have just buses by itself, like buses, not converted or anything like that. So have some type of price range that you are comfortable with, and stick within that for sure. Yeah,
definitely. You know, I think that's very important. You know, because we've had tons of people ask, why don't you buy an RV? Why didn't you buy an RV? Why didn't do that?
It's a lot easier. Video for that.
Yeah, do another. That's
Talk
another.
About that.
Yeah. And one of the things that we talked about for us that was important was the length of the bus. You know, you literally don't know the length of a bus until you actually are in it and are starting putting furniture in it,
like you start trying to do a conversion,
a floor plan. You're like, I have enough. I have a lot of room, and you really don't have the room that you think. Just imagine going to IKEA and sitting in one of those rooms. Just the room alone is 220, 230 square feet. And that's your bus.
That's about
it's about 200 and some 200.
But just like a long,
just rectangular.
Yeah.
So it's important.
And we went by windows at the time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. It was like 11 windows, 13 windows is kind of what we were looking for. Because there's the short buses, the longer buses, and even the longer buses have different lengths. They're not all just the same length. Some, like I said, some are 11 windows, passenger windows, some are 13.
And then you run into emergency exits also.
There's so many different types.
There's so many different types.
So many different. There's the ones that have the engine in the back of the bus. There's the ones that have the engine in the front of the bus.
The nose dog is what we got. The flat nose that you see.
There's a lot of different ones.
There's so many things. So the length is important, and you want to, when you measure your bus, as far as the length goes, you want livable space. Don't count let's say from the dashboard, all the way to the engine compartment, all the way to the back. You want to measure livable space. You walk into the bus, take a step, that's all the way to the back of the bus is livable space that you can convert.
And ours is 29 feet.
Yeah, 29 feet, and with those 29 feet, you have to take account where the bathroom's going, and that's another whole video that we will do.
Video, but this was just when you want to purchase a bus, or you have
what we did when we looked into doing, when you purchase a bus. This is what we talked about, the things that we needed to look into, and again, do research. I must have looked. the countless nights of us looking at different buses. Hey, look at this bus. Hey, look at this bus.
Different websites.
Just everything. You know, contacting different people to talk to them about the buses is key. You know, and you'll see that we didn't know at the time, but there was such a big community out there and willing to help. Yeah. You know, with so much information.
If anybody has any questions or comments, or just leave them there, or message us, and we'll be willing to
message us, let us know
with,
you know, any questions that you have as far as, you know, hey, how'd you guys, I remember when we posted the video of us announcing the bus, I had a friend from, oh my God, I've known him for years, from middle school, say, hey, that's something I want to do. So, you know, and somebody else, a friend of mine that actually he does the motorhomes. You know, hey, you know, whatever you need help. So anything that you guys have questions about purchasing a bus, if you think about doing this, you know, hey, we could, you know, help you out as much as we can. You know, so leave your questions and comments, and, you know, give us a thumbs up. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. We've had within the last day or so at least like 13 subscribers, so we appreciate you guys, and we really appreciate. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
See you soon.